The hottest party of the summer. Was this the hottest party of the summer? It had some really great matches, a new Universal Champion, but was it really the hottest party of the summer? We're going to find out because this is the hottest review of the summer. This is the Rollin' Wrestling Review Show here on YouTube. What's up, everybody? My name is Brandon Duchair Craven, and this is the official Rollin' Wrestling Review of WWE Summerslam. And I want to apologize to all of you, my loyal subscribers, and the people that may just be watching this for the first time. This video is very, very late, and that's because of that opening intro that you saw for this video. That is why, and I truly, truly apologize. That's on me. I wanted to do this big, and I hope y'all liked it, but that's why it was so late. But let's get to this review of WWE SummerSlam. Let's go. First up is the pre-show. First off, let me say this. The stage was awesome looking, and it's the current stages they are using for both Raw and SmackDown. I know they used it for SmackDown last week. I don't know if they're going to use it for them this week. They probably will, because they used it for Raw last night. So they probably will. I'll get to that review, or that top 5 tomorrow, so I'll try to mention that tomorrow. But also stay tuned. Coming up right after this video should be my top 5 moments from Raw last night, so be sure to check that out too. But anyway, first match on the pre-show, Breezango, the Vaudevillains, and the Ascension versus the Hype Bros, American Alpha, and the Usos. It was a good tag team match. Great way to get the SmackDown tag team some TV time. And the Usos made the blind tag and got the win for their team. Saw a little tension between the Usos and American Alpha in the end. Overall, 3 out of 5 stars for this match. Next match on the card, Sami Zayn and Neville, the unlikely duo of Sami Zayn and Neville versus the Dudleys. Great tag chemistry by Neville and Zayn. They have a lot of chemistry together, being on the independents. Neville is a human highlight reel. Great action throughout the match. After another miscommunication by the Dudleys, Neville and Zayn pick up the win. Overall, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Next up on the card, Sheamus versus Cesaro in match 1 of the best of 7 series. Physical contest. Both tried to finish the other off early. Many near falls, hard-hitting contest. Cesaro literally springboarded from the ring post to the ring with a cross body. He literally jumped off the new ring post, that's more of a big square, into the ring. That was huge. And he also clotheslined during the match by Cesaro that sounded like a knife-edge chop. It was brutal. After a thumb to the eye, though, and a bro kick, Sheamus wins match number 1. Overall, what a match. And it's just the pre-show. Overall, 4 out of 5 stars. Great, great match to end the pre-show. Next up is the main card. First up on the main card, Enzo and Cass versus what they are now calling Jericho. The team of Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. By the way, well, I'll get to that on my top 5 moments from Monday Night Raw. Great show last night. First gripe on this match. Enzo, buddy, you disappoint me. You disappoint me with the New York Yankees attire. But it is what it is. But who knew the big guy could sing? Who knew? Enzo was going for the hot tag, and Jericho basically speared him out of midair. That was a great spot. Huge flapjack codebreaker combo by KO and Jericho, for the win. Overall, 3 out of 5 stars. It would have been higher, but Enzo, like I said, you disappointed me with the New York Yankees attire. You disappoint me, man. Great promo backstage with Jon Stewart, The New Day, Stephanie, Shane, Mick Foley, and Daniel Bryan. Absolute hilariousness. Is that even a word? I don't know, but I'm making it a word. Hashtag hilariousness. Use it. Next up, the Women's Championship. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks is the champion. Kind of surprising that the women's title match is before the 6-woman tag team match or any other title match for that matter. A huge botch by Charlotte when she went for a backbreaker from the second rope. Basically, she dropped Charlotte on her head. Huge counter by Sasha. She countered a Razor's Edge from the second rope into a Hurricane Rana. That was a huge, huge spot. Those women were out to prove a point that night. After what was a great match, Charlotte reversed the Bank statement into a pin, and your new women's champion, Charlotte. Overall, fantastic match, 4 out of 5 stars. Next up, the Intercontinental Championship is on the line as The Miz takes on the challenger, Apollo Creed. Cruz. It's Cruz. Huge showing by Apollo Crews in this match. With an assist by Maurice, The Miz is still your Intercontinental Champion. Good match overall, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Next up is AJ Styles versus John Cena in basically match number 3 of this rivalry. The crowd is clearly behind AJ Styles. John Cena did get a few cheers in there, but not many. AJ suplexed John onto the ring apron. A lot of these moves that night looked really, really nasty. They looked really, really bad. The Charlotte backbreaker from the second rope, basically dropping Sasha on her head. That move, the suplex on the ring apron by AJ onto John Cena, it looked bad. Torture rack powerbomb by AJ Styles for a near fall. Many near falls in this match. Insane match, insane moves. This match had it all. Your winner after reversing the attitude adjustment into the Styles Clash, then hitting the phenomenal forearm, AJ Styles. What a match. Another 4 out of 5 stars. Next up, The New Day with Jon Stewart in their corner. No idea. Versus Gallows and Anderson. Okay, look. I do not like the whole guest thing, okay? I mean, for special events like Tribute to the Troops, sure. But not for something like SummerSlam or a weekly show. They had Sean Combs, P. Diddy on Raw a few weeks ago. Didn't like that. Luckily, it didn't take away from the show. It didn't take away from Raw. This one kind of did. Jon Stewart tried to cause a distraction for the New Day. He paid for it, and people, including me, actually wanted to see him get beat up. I like Jon Stewart, but he doesn't belong in a WWE ring. It's just a waste of time. Big E returned to make the save. However, it did cause a disqualification. So your winners are Gallows and Anderson, but still your WWE Tag Team Champions now for over 1 year. Congratulations, New Day. The New Day. Overall, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Not the best match in the world, but it is what it is. Next up, surprisingly, the WWE World Championship match between Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose. It was an okay match. I hate to say this about a title match, but there really wasn't much to write home about. Overall, 2 out of 5 stars. This match, probably because they wanted to save enough room for that. I can't even call it a main event, but they probably wanted to save room for that. So, didn't really get much. Next up, Naomi, Carmella, and Becky Lynch versus Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and a returning, taking the place of a suspended Eva Marie, Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella, as the new tag team partner, made absolutely no sense in this match because she is a face and she is teaming with the heels. Why? The crowd went nuts for her. I don't understand it. Naomi is very, very athletic. I almost forgot how athletic she was. and it really showed in this match. This match was okay. Overall, 2.5 out of 5 stars. I'll say this. If you watched the Women's Revolution on the network, the reason I love Becky Lynch is because after her match at WrestleMania between Charlotte and Sasha in the triple threat match for the title, she had to have stitches. After being asked how bad it was, she said just 7 stitches. I love that girl. That's tough, man. Becky, I love you. I really love your attitude, and if they don't put the new WWE SmackDown Women's title on you, I'm going to be really, really upset. Next match on the card, from what it looks like, WWE, though, this is just some random information, will start doing 2 pay-per-views a month. SmackDown will be doing Backlash on the 11th of September, followed by Raw doing what they called last night Clash of Champions on September 25th. It's no longer Night of Champions, it's Clash of Champions, which I really like that because it's kind of like they're bringing back the old WCW pay-per-view. Anyway, up next is the Universal Championship between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Somebody is going to walk out the first ever WWE Universal Champion. Quick gripe, another quick gripe. With all these suspensions, you have a guy who got caught with an illegal substance, not once, but twice. I understand he's a part-timer, but still, he's main eventing your biggest pay-per-view of the summer. Really? Really? Anyway, on to the match. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal title. Speaking of the belt, it looks like a red ketchup bottle women's title. I know it's supposed to look like the WWE title, but it really looks like a cheap toy. Not to say the women's title looks like a cheap toy, because it doesn't, but this title really does. And now I know what Mick Foley said, I know what Seth Rollins said about it doesn't, the person makes the title. And I absolutely 100% agree with that statement. But the problem is that your title just doesn't look like a title. I've talked about that before. Go watch my other videos. It just, oh, goodness. Anyways, Finn Balor's first entrance on the main roster, in a main roster pay-per-view rather, was amazing. The Demon King was alive and well. There were maybe some dissenters, but overall they were pretty much behind Finn Balor. And, it was mostly split. The Brooklyn crowd knew what was up with Finn's entrance. They were all behind him. They were all doing the throwing their hands up thing. It was great. Finn started out fast and furious. Finn kicked out of the pedigree. Rollins kept getting out of the way of the coup de grace. Now, I will say this. As we all know by now, Finn Balor got injured, and he had to relinquish the title. We have a new WWE Universal Champion as of last night. I'll get to more into that in my top 5 moments from Raw coming out later on this evening. So check back for that again. And overall, this match got a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It went really quick for me. Finn Balor did win the title, but as I said before, he is no longer a champion. He is currently on the shelf for at least, I think they said 6 months, because of the powerbomb that he took from Seth Rollins on the ring barricade, and it dislocated his shoulder, tore his labrum, and all that. So Finn, get well soon, buddy. I say buddy. Get well soon. You're one of my favorite wrestlers. Just get well soon. Overall, like I said, it was a great match. Good match. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, it went really quick for me. It was just really, really quick and done. Next up is Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the United States title. Rusev attacked Roman before the match. Officially, it never started. And it ended with a brawl. Rating. What the heck? Up next is your main event. of the evening. Brock Lesnar versus the Viper, Randy Orton. Of course, Paul Heyman did Brock's introduction. Look, I'm sorry, y'all, but I really don't think this should be the main event. One of your world title matches should have been the main event for your biggest pay-per-view of the summer. Don't treat your titles like an afterthought at the biggest pay-per-view of the summer. Don't do it. Suplex after suplex after suplex after suplex. That's how the WWE treats a 12-time world champion and loyal employee of the company. Also somebody who just returned. He did make a comeback, thankfully, but of course, Brock plays by his own rules and busted Orton open. This match was called off. Surprise, surprise. Build up, build up, build up. Nothing. They just have to keep feeding Brock Lesnar's ego, don't they? F5 Shane. This was a ridiculous, excuse for a main event, for a major pay-per-view. Overall, you know what? I'm not rating this match. It just doesn't deserve a rating. So, no rating for that match. Overall, though, the pay-per-view gets a very generous 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'm thoroughly disappointed in the WWE for this pay-per-view. My biggest gripe is the fact that you spent nearly 2 months hyping Orton versus Lesnar, and it ends in a freaking TKO. This isn't the UFC. Give me a break. Your title matches should have co-main evented. All of your title matches should have been your main events. It really should have been your main events. Let's get on to my matches of the night. My matches of the night goes to Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. And also possibly the match of the decade to John Cena versus AJ Styles. Absolutely great matches. And finally, for this video, I asked you guys before SummerSlam who you thought the first Universal Champion would be. And you chose, for the first time ever, it was a tie. Split right down the middle. You guys had no idea who was going to win the title. So that was awesome. Thank you guys so much for voting. I'll come up with another poll for the upcoming Backlash pay-per-view coming up here in just a couple of weeks. I'll come up with that here pretty soon. That is going to do it for my review of WWE SummerSlam. Check back here in just a little bit. I'm going to be posting my top 5 moments from Monday Night Raw. And then again tomorrow, my top 5 moments from SmackDown Live. And as always, let me know what you thought of WWE SummerSlam, this review, and this channel in the comments below. Don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe by hitting the buttons right down there somewhere. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. I'm down for the 3 count. My name is Brandon Duchair Craven. God bless you. See you next time on the Rolling Wrestling Review YouTube channel. I'm out, y'all. See ya.